So to continue with our example of positive growth rate here, we already know the firm just paid their dividend, D0 as 2, G as 6%, risk-free rate as 7%, market portfolio return, RM 12%, beta as 1.2. Let's solve the questions one by one. Question 8, find the expected dividend stream for the next 3 years and their PVs. Okay, so we know that D0 is 2 and we know G is 6%. D1 is just D0 multiplied by 1 plus G. So it's $2 multiplied by 1 plus 6%, which is 2.12. D2 is D0 multiplied by 1 plus G square. So it's 2 multiplied by 1 plus 6% square equals to 2.247. You can also use D1, 2.12 multiplied by 1 plus G to get this 2.247. D3 equals to 2 D0 multiplied by 1 plus G, 1 plus 6% cube. Okay, we get 2.382. Also, you can use D2, 2.247 multiplied by 1 plus 6% to get this 2.382. Okay, so you can write these 3 dividends on the top line. If we want to know the present value of these 3 dividends, okay, so in order to get D1, D2, D3, we use D0 multiplied by 1 plus G to the power of T, according to the formula, because we know dividends grow at G. And for present value of DT, we use DT divided by 1 plus RS to the power of T. Okay, and RS is given 13%. It's the same as the RI in the CAPM. Okay, so we can just use these 3 numbers, discount by 1 plus 13% one by one. For the first, okay, excuse me. So RS is actually not given here in the question. Okay, the first step is to solve for RS. We know D0G, we don't know RS. However, we know RRF, RM, and beta. We can use these 3 measures and CAPM model to solve for RS. Okay, in order to discount all these dividends, we need to solve for RS first and then discount them one by one. Okay, in order to solve for RS, the cost of equity, which is the same as the stock return, we can use the CAPM or SML to calculate RS. Okay, RS equals risk-free rate plus market return minus risk-free rate multiplied by beta. So it's 7%, and all these informations are given. 7% risk-free rate plus 12% RM minus 7% multiplied by beta, 1.2. So we have RS as 13%. Okay, and then after we know RS as 13%, we also know D1, D2, and D3. We just use these, in order to get PV of D1, we use D1 over 1 plus RS. So it's 2.12 divided by 1 plus 13%. We have 1.8761. For present value of D2, we can use D2, 2.247 divided by 1 plus R square, 1 plus 13% square. So we have 1.7599. For present value of D3, we can use D3 as 2.382 divided by 1 plus 13% cube. So we have 1.6509. So you can write these 3 numbers on the timeline here. Okay, we discount them one by one, all the dividends one by one to get these present values of the 3 dividends. Question B, find the intrinsic value of the stock, which is P0 hat. It equals to D1 over RS minus G. We already got the RS from the constant, from the CAPM. D1 is 2.12 which is D0 multiplied by 1 plus G. So we can just use D1 over RS minus G. Okay, and we have 30.29 as the stock price. Question C, what is the expected market price of the stock 1 year from now? So we want to know P1 hat. There are 2 ways to solve for it. D1 will have been already paid out if we're purchasing the stock at time 1. So P1 is the present value of D2, D3, D4, and so on. P1 equals to D2 over RS minus G. Okay, because P0 is D1 over RS minus G, so P1 is D2 over RS minus G. You can use D2, which is already calculated, 2.247 over RS 13% minus G 6%. So we have 32.1 as our P1 hat. Okay, remember any PT is DT plus 1 over RS minus G. That's why for P0, it's D1 over RS minus G. D1 is D1 over RS minus G. Okay, an alternative method is to use our conclusion that price grows at the rate of G. So our P1 equals P0 multiplied by 1 plus G. We can use P0, 30.29 here, we solved for, multiplied by 1 plus 6%. So we have 32.1 as P1. Okay, so you can use constant growth model formula, or you can use the conclusion that price grows at the rate of G to solve for P1. Okay, so the same, if the question is asking for P2, you can also use P2 equals D3 over RS minus G. And P2 would be equal to this P1 number multiplied by 1 plus G. Okay, you can always solve for any PT. Question D, current yield. Excuse me, we have to, let me change the, I don't think I can write on here, but let me try. Okay, anyway, I will try to correct this, but it should be dividend yield, which is asked here. Okay, current yield is the yield for bond, right? So we're actually asking for current yield, dividend yield, capital gains yield, and total return for the stock here. So for DY dividend yield, it is D1 over P0 by definition. So we can just plug the numbers and it's 7%. Alternatively, we can use the conclusion we had, dy equals r minus g, so it's 13% minus 6%, it's also 7%. For capital gains yield, here we can use the difference in P1, P0 divided by P0 as 6%. We can also use our conclusion that CGY equals to G, and it's 6%. Total return is the sum of dividend yield plus capital gains yield, 7% plus 6%. Okay, it's the same as RS we calculated from CAPM, 13%. Okay, so in the next video, we're gonna talk more on the practice problems. But maybe before you go to the next video, you can try to work on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 practice problems on your own for this chapter 9 class 1. And we're gonna discuss the solutions in the next video.